Hi, I'm the most curious noodle, and recently I watched a live stream from these two men, the Paradox Studio founders Amio, Talio, and Faisal, Tariq. This stream was release of early gameplay footage of their crypto play-to-earn game Paradox Metaverse. You may know them and their game from the infamous iShowSpeed stream promoting their game, or the videos and interview related to it with CoffeeZilla. The stream I watched was created a few weeks ago and was originally shown to early NFT holders, but later released to the entire Paradox Discord. But as I was watching the footage, something didn't seem quite right, and after some research I was able to uncover the truth behind what was being shown, find the blatant deceit in what the founder said during the stream, and it was all thanks to this one statue. Now, before we get started, I wanted to let you know that I'll be showing parts of the Paradox founders live stream. Now, unfortunately, there was some lag on their stream or game from their end. There's nothing I can do to fix this. So just know that when you see stuttering, that it's no issue with the video or the device that you're watching this on. It comes directly from their footage. So let's go back to the start of the stream to see what prompted me to investigate. When initially opening the game and explaining some of the game mechanics to be implemented later, people got to see some small snippets of Paradox City, which will be the main hub world of their game. And if we ignore the UI, which is supposedly being worked on, you can see the graphics here are fairly low quality with older looking textures and poor lighting. Perhaps graphics we would expect to see in a game from a few console generations ago. Why this was the case with this demo, I'm not exactly sure, as we've seen short amounts of gameplay from the city looking better than this. Now, from what has been previously said by the founders, this will be the biggest map in the game, so for the moment they may have reduced the texture quality so that it would run smoother. I mean, I'm just taking a stab at it here and I really don't know, but later in the stream they do mention that the quality of this map is being worked on. So shortly after this, they load into the level that they wanted to demo. And hey, look at this. High fidelity textures, realistic lighting, and a well fleshed out and intricate looking world. And as they showed this map off, the stark difference between this and the hub world really got me wondering if the assets shown here were made by Paradox's in-house development team, or if it was some sort of asset pack that they had used and implemented. So I started to dig and see if I could find these assets. And this is where the statue from the start of the video comes in. It was shown briefly as they walked through the temple in the map, but I figured this would be an excellent place to start, as the statue had some easy search terms that I could use to find it, and should be easily identifiable in images that I look at. So I started by searching the term Buddha statue Unreal 5 Marketplace, and I just go straight for the image search. I scroll a little and there it is, the exact same statue model. Now, finding this doesn't really mean much, because using assets made by creators in the marketplace is fine, as long as they're paid for. In fact, for a smaller indie studio like Paradox, it makes sense for them to do this, as it saves time, it saves money, and it helps get developers working on the more important stuff in the game. But searching a little deeper, I found they were doing a lot more than just using assets from a pack. I found this because I grabbed the name of the pack the statue was in, and searched it so I could get a clearer look at the other assets in it. But then a suggestion in the video section piqued my interest. And when I watched it, I was gobsmacked. Why? Well, because this video is from 8 months before the stream and created by developers Scan Factory, and it shows a walkthrough of what was the same map that was being used in the Paradox demo, and it was completely unchanged for it. Everything including map design, textures, assets, and asset placement were exactly the same. Even the little guiding light we are told from the Paradox founders is to help as a quest guide is part of the original map, taking the exact same path. Now again, the same point applies here, that using this map is well within the rights of the Paradox team. If you go to the Unreal Marketplace listing for this map, The original developers mentioned that it's okay to use the map within a game unaltered. So you may be asking, what exactly is the problem here then? They aren't doing anything wrong from what you said. And you're right, except that Amio and his brother claim in this stream that this map was the work of their own developers at Paradox Studios. So let's take a look at some clips directly from the livestream, where the Paradox founders talk about the development and meaning behind the map. And after each clip, I would talk about and show footage from the original devs walkthrough, and explain the deceitful nature of Amio and Faisal's comments.
So one of the main things we've been working on for the past 2 months, and this was important for us, was actually, one of the two things we've been attacked on is they said, oh, we're not original. So we've been working behind the scenes to make everything unique and original to ours, because apparently it was bad using Lyra for the multiplayer shooting scenes, which is a bit stupid when you think about it. Because
every game does.
Well, yeah, every game does, because Lyra was developed by Epic Games, the same company that developed Unreal Engine and made Fortnite. They released it for free so people can use it for their indie gaming studios and game devs, so they can use it to build their multiplayer shooting games as efficiently as possible on Unreal Engine 5.
The same way using Unreal Engine to build your software on. Yeah. But anyways, it slowed us down, but it's cool. Let's keep it moving. Now, what we worked on the most was real life. Like, for instance, let me give you an example. We've got a waterfall. Now, creating a waterfall, it probably means nothing to you guys, but to us, it means everything. Maybe there's a hidden something behind there.Maybe it's there for a reason. Everything is there for a reason, right? Now, I don't know if you could see, but like the way the sprinkles, like when it lands in the water and how everything has to be done manually. And this is why
we have to work with gravity to do this.
We basically have to work with gravity, because we have to think, all right, cool. If water was to drop into the ocean, how would it replicate? How would it happen? Because there's no point just having blah, 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 blah. It needs to look realistic. If we're going to make a realistic game, it needs to look very realistic, or you don't make it realistic at all.
And here is that waterfall in the Scan Factory video. You can see it's exactly the same. The way the water flows, the water splashing, and the misting effect. It's all there. None of it was done manually by the Paradox team as claimed. So let's take a look at the next clip.
The graphics, the graphics no one can ever talk about to us. Because one thing I am, right, is very, I'm an arsehole, right? I want things done exactly the way I want them. If it looks shit, I'll say it looks shit, make it better, right? And it's got this one really horrible problem. It pisses everyone off in the office, but I just have to have it perfect. For instance, look how good quality. I don't know if you can see, right? Like the rocks, for instance. This is the beauty of Unreal Engine, right? The way that these rocks have been placed, for instance, every single groove, every single mark on there is there to replicate how good it looks. As in, like, it's realization, right? It needs to look real.
Now, the Scan Factory video does not give us the same view of this rock wall, but this is the area they were in. And from the Paradox video, the character was standing about here, and he was looking at this section of the wall. And if you do a comparison between the two, you can see they're exactly the same. No changes were made to it. Okay, let's move on.
If you guys remember, right, if you watch some of our earlier streams, we was talk about leaves, and ever since then, I just can't stop talking about it. I wanted leaves that started moving, started thinking, so the wind's in the air, because don't forget this map, right, depending on what time of day you're playing it, is depending on whether it's light or day. And depending on whether it's breezy, whether it's raining, all of these leaves, for instance, will move. I don't know if you can see it right now, right? So you spend a lot of time on leaves, believe it or not, right? And the reason is because we want to make it extra realistic.
The bush Amio talked about is right here in the devs video. And if you watch it closely, it's swaying in the wind, just like in the Paradox stream. In fact, if you read the documentation provided by Scan Factory, they explain how to use their plugin to make this happen. So I'm not sure what Amio is talking about when they say that they worked on this for a long time. Alright, so let's go to the next statement.
If you can see these little creatures, now, this is very important, right, that you understand everything has a place and everything has a meaning. So if you see random stuff like this, it probably means nothing to you now. Maybe in in a layer down and a game level down. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing stuff like that. Maybe that was there for a reason.
So that same statue is shown here in the devs video, and it's actually seen multiple times in both videos as there's multiple versions of the same statue throughout the map. So it is definitely there for a reason, and that reason is that the original devs put it there. I'm not sure what this whole layers deep meaning behind the statue is, as claimed by the Paradox founders. Okay, let's go back to the Paradox stream.
I mean, if you look at the Puddle Reflections, that was a bitch.
Now, this is the biggest bitch going. We can swear because it's thick. All right, can you see the reflections on the floor? Right? So if you look up, there's a little creek there, and he's there. Reflections is the most important thing. One thing I hated, right? And in games you see it, right? It's horrible. When you look down into the puddles, you actually see, if you look down into water and you go into the water, you actually see the foundations. You don't actually see reflections. And that was a big arsehole of a problem, but we solved it now.
So we can see those reflections in the puddles in the Scan Factories video as well. So I'm not exactly sure what problem they solved, as it was already implemented. Let's go to the next clip.
So if you look up as well, we've got crows and eagles. You can see them bad boys there. It's very important that we make it very, very, very realistic.
Well, the thing we were trying to go for is we want it to be each planet, because these are each different planets. So we want each planet to be unique in its own. So if we wanted like a mystic, deserted, ancient ruins, this is the kind of thing you'd describe, wouldn't you? If you were in South America and Brazil. So that's the kind of vibes we went for in this specific level.
Not much to say for this one. The birds are shown in the same location on the Scans Factory video. Also, as Faisal said, there definitely is an ancient ruins vibe coming from this map. But rather than South American, given the elephants and the Buddha statues present, I would say this is more of a Southeast Asian temple. But that's kind of beside the point. The vibe that, as Faisal said, was something that his team went for, is not something that his team went for. It was something that the Scan Factories team went for, and that they have because they use this map. Let's move on to the next clip from the Paradox stream.
All right. Very important, because I was very anal about this, right? Fire. The original fire that we had made, it looked so fake, man. It looked so fake. It just looked horrible. And the reason why we spent such a long time on fire is because fire, it needs to look realistic. How can we have such a realistic game and then we've got shitty fire? So we went over this about 20 times. It's placed all over the place, but it looks cool, man.
So fire is used all throughout the map. But the Scans Factory walkthrough doesn't really linger on any fire source for a particularly long time. But on the Scans Factory Discord, there is a demo of this map which you can download for free. So I did that, and I captured this footage of the fire asset. So comparing this to the Paradox footage, you can see from the way that the fire is animated to the smoke and ember effects above the flame that these assets are the same. So this story about going through 20 iterations of this fire animation just doesn't add up. Okay, let's move on.
There's no game out there that looks as good as this. And we had to go into detail and make it look proper amazing. Because obviously we've got so many freaking idiots that are talking shit on our name that we had to come back with a, yo, now what you saying? You understand what I mean? So that's why we spent a lot of time doing that. Now, why I wanted to stand here, because this is something very important. Have you seen the eagles go past the sun? And have you seen the way the sun rays,
Reflect right there.
right, are reflecting? So they're coming. Can you see? While it goes past the sun and it goes past the trees, the lights of the rays of the sun, they're getting darker. Like it would normally do outside in the real world. Can you see that? Amazing stuff. This is all stuff that the devs have been working on. Little things that just make it think.
Now, Amio claims that no other game looks as good as his. And that's not something I'm going to argue because there's no real point. But I can say that there definitely is a walkthrough that looks exactly like their game. Now, the birds that he talks about are shown in the same area in the walkthrough from the original devs. But unfortunately, we don't really get to see the effect of the birds blocking the sun's rays like Amio mentioned. Fortunately though, the demo of this map that I downloaded is of this exact same area. So I got into the same position, and as you can see, the same effect occurs. So this is definitely not one of the little things that Amio's devs worked on. And here is our final clip.
But that character there looks very... Maybe he's like, I don't know, maybe he's there for a reason. Maybe he's there to portray someone. Maybe, because I'm thinking about it, all these statues, they're made for something, right?
You'll see soon.
You're going to have to wait and see for that one, innit?
Now again, this statue is there because the Scan Factory devs put it there. I don't know if the Paradox devs have somehow integrated this statue into the lore of the game, but just as Amio said, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So as you can see, comments made during the stream were undeniably dishonest. As far as I can tell, the only things added to the map for the demonstration was the character they walk around with, the gun that the character's holding, and some creatures near the start of the level. And interestingly enough, those three elements are the only part of the demo that, in my opinion, feel unpolished. During the stream they did say that there are meant to be more enemies, alternate gated paths, and a boss in the level, but they were turned off for the demo, so I cannot confirm whether that's true or not. But why do this, and why deceive their own community? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I explained my findings on the Paradox Discord, and asked the founders why they felt it was okay to claim this work as being made by their own studio. But I got no response and was banned from the Discord minutes after. I think though that the ending comments from the stream from the brothers may shed some light on this. I'll play it now and I'll let you draw your own conclusions.
Alright, so that stream there was an inside look for you guys to see what we've been working on, right? On one of the main missions. This is the first mission, right? We're not going to go into the desert or the different planet and that, because we're going to save that for next week, because there's a lot more that we want to share with you guys, but we have to go by stage. We don't want to show you all everything today, right here, right now, and then you're going to pick out faults on this and that, because look, as you see, we've perfected this layer, this game right now. We've perfected it. Everything looks so good. The graphics look amazing. The water, the leaves, the characters, everything looks amazing. Now, this is one thing that we want to do now, is we want to go step by step and perfect everything before we start. You know what makes sense? Because look, we got attacked. They start saying, oh yeah, this ain't no AAA game. This is rah, 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 rah. Now no one can attack us. The Matrix can't attack us. They can't come for us. Guys, you have to understand one thing, right? Is we got attacked because everyone said we're not a AAA game. I think we are in that league now. Okay, fair enough. We're not an actual AAA game. So what?
But in crypto, I feel like
in crypto,
we're getting there.
There's no other game, right, that's as good as this in graphics wise in crypto fees. The graphics look amazing, and that's what's going to set us apart from everyone else, right?
What I find confusing personally is that after the controversies and troubles associated with the project so far, the founders felt that this map would make people no longer be able to doubt that they could make a good looking game, that this would show those scrutinizing the project to be wrong, and that nobody could attack them. But this map was easily looked up and found in 10 minutes. So using this map, and especially claiming it as their own work, I personally think is not helping their cause on any of those fronts. Also, as a bonus, there was one screenshot of a desert map shown at the start of the stream, and I had to look to see if I could find that map anywhere. And sure enough, after another 15 minutes of searching, I found this map and asset pack. There's the same tower, same palace, and same rock formation behind it. Now, they didn't go into the map itself, so I don't know if they're using the map in its entirety or just assets from it, but the palace is shown in the short gameplay clip on Paradox's YouTube page. And looking at the screenshot, I can only suspect that they are using the map. Now, if you want to confirm for yourself all that I've mentioned in this video, I'll have links in the description to the full Paradox livestream, the original devs walkthrough of the map, and the Unreal Marketplace map packs, so that you can draw your own conclusions about this story. I created this video because I felt that those within the Paradox community, as well as others who are interested in this project, should know what happened here. But I ask that after you watch this video, please do not go harass anyone who was mentioned in it. So tell me what you think. How do you feel about what was said in the livestream? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, and have a good day.